3 years ago, when I woke up in the middle of the night and checked the time, 3 a.m. You know, in Asian culture people always say, 3 a.m. is the time when the ghostly atmosphere is the strongest, and at that time, I was actually kinda scared. I looked at my two friends sleeping beside me and thought, damn, luckily I don't live alone. Because honestly, my imagination is too strong at night. A random sound from the kitchen, ghost. Curtain moving because of wind, definitely ghost. Plastic bottle suddenly making noise by itself? Okay, maybe not ghost, but still suspicious. Back then, I even thought about the future. Like, what would happen when my friends move away someday and I have to live alone? And I remember I stopped thinking right there because I got scared again. But now, I live alone. And surprisingly, I already got over that fear. I'm mature now. I'm not scared anymore. Actually, I'm still scared. Just a little bit. Like if I hear weird sounds at 2 a.m., I still suddenly become very respectful toward all spiritual beings. But compared to before, way better. And that made me realize something. Sometimes the only way to get over fear is not motivation, it's exposure. You experience the same scary thing so many times that your brain slowly says, alright, fine. I guess this is our life now. I think a lot of fears work like that. If you're scared of interviews, maybe the answer is not waiting until you magically become confident. Maybe the answer is just going to more interviews. And after each interview, instead of only thinking, ah, that was terrible, you sit down quietly and ask yourself, what did I answer well? What part made me nervous? What can I improve next time? Because confidence usually comes after experience, not before it. And fear of failure is kinda similar too. I think people are not always scared of failing itself. Sometimes they are scared because they mentally refuse the possibility of failure. But once you truly accept, okay, maybe the worst outcome happens, then suddenly fear becomes smaller. Because your brain is no longer running away from that possibility anymore. Like, okay, maybe I fail. Maybe people judge me. Maybe things become awkward. Maybe I feel embarrassed for a few days. But then what? Life still continues. And honestly, after every failure, you usually become sharper somehow. You know more, you notice things faster, you understand yourself better. It's actually hard to stay exactly the same after repeated failure, because pain forces people to reflect. That's why I think people who fail many times are sometimes mentally stronger than people who never tried. At least they faced reality. At least they moved. And maybe that's why exposure matters so much. Because every time you face something scary and survive it, your brain collects evidence. Evidence that says, see? Nothing destroyed you. Maybe it was awkward. Maybe it hurt your confidence a little. Maybe you failed. But you survived. And after surviving something enough times, fear slowly loses its authority over you. Not completely, but enough for you to finally move forward anyway. I think that's what growing up feels like sometimes. Not becoming fearless, just becoming more familiar with fear. Anyway, thank you for spending a few minutes of your life here with me tonight. And if nobody told you this today, I hope tomorrow feels a little softer than yesterday. I hope little by little, your fears become smaller, your heart becomes calmer, and your life slowly becomes better. Take care of yourself, okay? And remember, we're all growing slowly here.